I started studying Japanese in February 2016. I studied quite hard at the time, invested many hours a day, probably a little bit too much, and I was able to do that for a couple of years. But ever since I moved to Japan in 2020, my studying has been less than a few hours a week. Last December I took the JLPT N2 and only 1 month before that test I finally started studying daily again in preparation for the test. But after the test I however stopped studying daily again and went back to studying only a few hours a week. So in the last 3 years I barely studied Japanese, but my Japanese has been improving quite drastically, more than it did before I moved to Japan. So yeah, some people might say that my Japanese improved because I moved to Japan and I'm surrounded by Japanese right now. Well, there's not much Japanese here, but outside of the house it is. And although it sounds possible that my Japanese improved because of that, on my job that I had the first couple of years I had a job as an English teacher and we were not allowed to talk in Japanese at work. And there was also a pandemic going on, so not a lot of chance of actually meeting people and going out and being able to talk in Japanese outside of the house. So how did I actually improve my Japanese then? Well, I had gained a lot of knowledge the past years before I moved to Japan. Gained a lot of vocab knowledge, grammar knowledge, and just overall sentence structure knowledge from studying out of books and by using applications like Memrise and Anki. So when I finally moved to Japan and started living here, I tried to take the little chances that I had to actually use the Japanese knowledge that I had. For example, when I went to shops, I had to use some Japanese, not much, but a little. Against my wife, I will sometimes use Japanese. To her parents, I can only use Japanese because their English is quite limited. But I still kind of am not confident enough to talk to my wife in Japanese full time because I want to be understood. So English is just plain easier for daily life conversations and just to get things done in the house. A couple of things had to change so I could actually improve my Japanese more quickly. 1. I tried to surround myself with Japanese a lot more than usual, so my phone was already in Japanese before I came to Japan. That was something that I did in my first month of studying Japanese for some reason. Was not a good idea, but I can use my phone in Japanese now without any problems. But I had not put my PC in Japanese yet, so that's one of the biggest changes that I've made. It's extremely troublesome in the beginning when I had to look things up and I only found Japanese sites, but it helped quite a lot to really surround myself more with Japanese and actually get to use and learn more Japanese whilst doing so, whilst looking things up. So far it hasn't caused any major issues, only a lot of time. 2. Whenever I had a conversation in Japanese, I basically refused myself to use English at all and tried my best to only speak in the Japanese that I knew. Doing this, only limiting yourself to using Japanese and not English, it has limits. Most of the limits were basically vocab related, so I would sometimes just look up vocab on my phone like very quickly, but I will always refuse myself to look up grammar, and every now and then I learn a new grammar point and I keep trying to use it into daily conversations. But that probably sounded strange every now and then because I would use certain grammar points that I just learned way too much to really get used to using it in my head as well. But I really wanted to get a grip on those things, on those new grammar points and sometimes new vocab that I would use them a little bit too much, but they're stuck in my head now. And getting a good grip on like using vocab and grammar, it just makes it more natural the more you say it and you start saying it more fluently. Number 3, thinking in Japanese was also a big change that I had to do because so far I've been thinking in English and in Dutch, but I have not tried thinking in Japanese before I even moved to Japan. I tried to, but I always failed at it and always gave up very quickly because I found myself too slow in thinking in Japanese. I haven't been able to have enough conversations with people because of the whole pandemic and such, so I basically came up with that. Let's start thinking more in Japanese. If I could get myself more familiar with using grammar and vocab inside of my head, then, and every now and then talking to myself, then it would go more smoothly whilst having conversations with people. I would prepare myself for certain situations in my head, so I know like, okay, I can say it like this, I can say it like this. It sounds very inconvenient, and again, it takes up a lot of time, but studying Japanese in general takes up a lot of time. 4. This is something not many people can do, but I mainly use Japanese to my kids. That way I get more used to saying certain phrases and like more common phrases, so I sound more fluent. My kid may not be able to correct me, and he may not be able to quite understand what I'm trying to say to him. I also hope that I don't teach him any wrong Japanese, but that will probably be fixed in school anyway, so problem for later. But yeah, it's kind of a downside that he cannot correct my Japanese. But that's why I only use Japanese that I'm certain of that is actually correct, so I don't teach myself and my kids wrong Japanese. And these are basically the things that I did to improve my Japanese without actually studying with books or applications and such. Just by using my daily life and my everyday time, I try to improve my Japanese. Now all of this, like trying to improve myself in these ways, would not have been possible without my previous studying that I've done whilst living in Belgium. Learning the vocab, learning the grammar. Without all that knowledge, this would not have been possible at all. To like actually surround yourself with Japanese and actually like immerse yourself in Japanese, you really need a certain amount of knowledge before you can actually achieve it in an efficient way. When I started living in Japan, my Japanese speaking ability was still very, very low. And right now it came to a point that I can actually talk kind of a lot and without having to look up things anymore. Also, my replying when they ask me questions became a lot smoother because of it. It takes time, but I feel that it's more convenient than sitting down reading a book, especially when you have a full-time job, or like right now I'm a stay-at-home dad. I have to do housekeeping, I have to take care of my kids, I have to do a lot of things, and I just don't have the time to sit down and study properly. So I just have to try to immerse myself and try to use Japanese more in my daily life. So far it's been going great. And I'm honestly quite happy to see where I have gotten so far. As some of you might know, I'll be going for the JLPT N2 next December. I'm planning on studying more intensively again soon. So not 1 month before the test actually happens, but before the application happens. I want to be able to pass the JLPT N2. It's May right now, almost June. Starting from July, beginning of July, end of June, I'll start studying daily again to try to pass the N2 in September, because in September is the application date for the JLPT exam for in December. If I cannot pass any tests, like example tests for the JLPT N2, I won't apply for the JLPT N2 in December, because I don't feel like wasting money or wasting my energy going to that place to take the test. So yeah, starting from next month, end of next month, I'll start studying daily again for the JLPT N2. I know that the title of this video said that I stopped studying Japanese, but that's not entirely true. I stopped studying Japanese like actively. I'm only studying Japanese passively, if that makes sense. It may make sense. But yeah, to pass the JLPT N2, doing what I'm doing now is just immersion and just surrounding myself with Japanese and choosing Japanese in daily life won't be enough, as the JLPT N2 includes a lot of vocab and grammar that is just not common in daily conversations. That is not to say that the JLPT N2 includes unnecessary vocab or grammar, like you will still see it every now and then, but not to the point that you come across it every single day. But that's all for now, and for everybody who is studying Japanese right now and feels like they are stuck on intermediate or lower intermediate, try to immerse or surround yourself with more Japanese. Put your PC in Japanese and start forcing yourself more to use Japanese in daily life. Even if you live abroad, there are still ways that you can actually do this, but it really depends on your situation. So good luck with studying Japanese, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.